got my brakes on just in case. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Rev1 72 volt build. This is part number 5. This is actually going to be the very last one we do, unfortunately, but I'm not going to give up on the bike yet. We still got a lot of issues to fix on it. Like, I want to cut the throttle. I want to move the turn signal and the horn back onto the right-hand side so it's not upside down. We have to fix the chain issue and the freewheel. We got to figure that out. It's all stripped in the back because we got to get a working like chain on this bike. But in today's video, I want to show you guys the apps that you're going to use for this bike. Now, there's a lot of people, every single time I do builds like this, like on my Super 73 that's sitting like way over there in the corner, if you guys can see that, everyone asks for the settings on my app on how I got it so fast. And there's an app on your phone, Android or iPhone. You download it. You can tap into the controller. I'm going to show you how to do that. There's also an app for the battery as well from Powerful Lithium that lets you kind of deep dive into it. You could change some settings, but be very careful if you do. But I want to show you those two things in today's video, and then we're going to take it on the road. We're going to see how fast this thing is. I'm expecting it to be faster than the Super 73, but I don't know. We'll see. So let's get into it and check it out. All right, guys, so here we go. So the first thing you need to do is you need to download the app on your phone. I'll have links down in the description. You guys will also see it on my phone as well as what it's called. But to actually get it working, to connect, you have to come in here to all your cables. And you're gonna have this one little white cable right here. It has a green, black, and yellow coming out. And on the other side, it's brown, green, and yellow. So all you have to do, disconnect this before you turn the bike on. After you do that, you turn the bike on like normal. It's gonna come up with an error code. It's gonna say there's like a disconnection, like a communication error. I'm not gonna bring it in the camera and show you that, but that's probably what it's gonna show. Another thing is, if you do look at this controller, it's gonna have a green light on the back that lets you know that it's on. If there is a red light for whatever reason, or this light doesn't come on, then there is an issue with your controller. But since it's green, we're good. Now that's how you get the app working. So we're gonna come onto the app and I'll show you what to do. All right, so you're gonna have these two apps on your phone. One is gonna be called MQ-Con. The other one's gonna be called Ant BMS. The Ant BMS is gonna be for the battery management system, and then the MQ-Con is gonna be for connecting to the Sabaton controller right here so you can adjust your settings. Hopefully you guys are gonna be able to see this okay. Sometimes when I move my hands, the camera likes to focus on my hands, so I apologize if it gets blurry at any point. But we're gonna come into this app. It's gonna say not connected. Sometimes it automatically connects, just there you go. So mine says normal. If this is your first time doing it, it's basically just gonna pop up and say Bluetooth. It's gonna find the battery, just accept it, and then you're good to go. The first thing you're probably gonna wanna do is go into this test mode right here, and you're gonna want to lift up the bike, make sure you put it on a stand or at least lift up the back tire. You're gonna have to do that for about a minute or two. You're gonna wanna go into the hall test, and you're gonna wanna hit run mode, and you're gonna wanna go into test mode. And then when you put it in the test mode, it's going to detect the motor and it's gonna give you an offset angle of the motor. Once you do that, hit save, you're good to get out of this setting. The next thing you're gonna wanna go to is this little wrench icon right in the middle, so tap that. These are gonna be all the settings I'm currently using on this controller to get the most power out of the bike. Now you can come down here in these settings, you're gonna change them to whatever you want. But just keep in mind, like DC current amps, you can't put that over 100. You might think you can come in here and hit 200 and then hit save and it will look like it's saved, but then once you reload this app and it reconnects to the controller, it's not gonna be accurate. It's gonna go right back down to 100. So I max these settings out as much as I can, so copy them if you would like. You can put a temperature settings on there, so how hot the controller gets, so when you want it to cut out. You have an e-brake feature, so if you do hook up the brakes to these current brakes, which I didn't do, you can have an e-brake on there, so I should just turn that off because it doesn't work anyway. You got flux weakening, that's basically gonna give you your high top speed. It's also gonna cause a little bit of heat into the motor, so just keep that in mind. But I have it maxed out. So this is a 100 amp controller, I have it at 50, that's the highest that you can go. You can also do your throttle curves as well. Something I like to adjust is the acceleration MS. That is basically how fast the acceleration is gonna come onto the bike. So if you want it instantaneously, which I don't recommend, you can put it at like 10, 20, 30. I think it was at 50 or something like that when I first got it. I like 200 because I like it to gradually get up there. It is still definitely fast, but you can change that however you want. I'm gonna go in here and change my throttle because I'm not feeling how the throttle is too well. It's not for me. I don't know, it's kind of janky. So those are my settings. Copy them if you want, and then I'll show you the next app right now. All right, so the next app is gonna be AMP BMS. You come in here, this is gonna connect to your battery. It's gonna say how many days since the BMS was put in there. It's been 20 days, 10 hours. It's gonna tell you your high cells, your total voltage, where it's charged at, how many times you've actually charged the battery. If you can see that, 29.128. That's how many amp hours we've charged into the battery. You have your temperatures labeled right there. And then if you come down here, you can see every single cell on where they're at on voltage, which is super awesome. We're sitting at like basically 1.16 volts right now. And I think it just disconnected because the bike did turn off. But you have a bunch of cool stuff. You can come in here and check it out. You can also check it out as you ride as well. So it's pretty cool to do. The biggest thing I look at is a cell difference. It's 0.008 cell difference. That's very, very good. So without further ado, let's put the GoPro on and let's head out there. First time on the road, other than when we had the issue with the chain and all that kind of stuff on the last video. And I'm nervous. Like, I want to take it easy because I don't know how well everything's gonna hold up in the back. I've been taking the bolts on and off. I should have put some Loctite on there. I will say it does feel very smooth. I'm not having any issues with it right now. I want to hit a top speed. Let's go, let's go. 50, 51, 52, 53. Oh my God, 54. Oh, we're running out of road. Wow. We're going faster than our Super 73. The only bad thing is the brakes are like so bad compared to the Super 73 right now. These are very dangerous. So I think brakes are something we're gonna have to upgrade because this is not safe right now. It really isn't. And I'll be honest with you guys, like, this is not good with the brake system, but man, I can't believe we're going that fast. We'll definitely have to hit a top speed here soon. I'm not liking this thumb throttle being on this side. This was the stock one that was on the right side. I'm not feeling it. I think what I'm gonna do is just completely like cut it off and I'll switch these back over to this side. I'm not probably gonna go back to a 52 volt system. We'll probably just stay on the 72 volt system. So I think I'm just gonna cut it. There was no way to disassemble this throttle. I tried. I looked up videos too. I looked up the throttle, like the PDF files, couldn't find nothing. So that's one thing I don't like. I don't like that it's raised up. It just feels weird. That's another reason why I didn't go with a full throttle on this side. I don't like how raised up it feels. I like the shorter grips. I feel like it feels better for my small hands. But if you guys have bigger hands, you guys actually might like having the full thumb throttle because it's very thick. This guy's like driving on the wrong side of the road. So I don't know what the hell he's doing. Okay. Idiot. I'm gonna tell you guys the voltage sag on it when I hit it right now, and then I also want to see how it is at nighttime later. No one behind me, we're good. Voltage sag, 80 volts. That's not bad. Not bad at all. We're passing the train now. Please don't go in front of me. Please don't go in front of me. We're going against the wind. Whee! 51 miles an hour, and I am like heading towards some bad wind. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. One thing I would suggest getting on this bike too is some different handlebars. With this amount of power and the weight all the way in the back, you need low-rise handlebars in the front because it doesn't feel as stable. Woo! Okay, hit that pothole, but it's okay. A little dip. That was cool. I'm going fast as hell. I didn't put my visor down, but I don't want to take my hands off this bike. So the Super 73 feels more stable at high speed compared to this one. And I really think it could be the bar setup, and it could also be the tire setup as well. The power of this bike is phenomenal. I need to see what wattage we're actually pulling because it should show. Someone, what the hell? Someone just yelled at me from that Honda Civic, I swear. What's the wattage? Woo, 8,300 watt. Oh no, I saw 96. Hold on. Let's come up this. Oh my God. 9,300 watts is what I just saw. I was not expecting to go over 8,000 watts. Oh, wow. Now, is my voltage working? I'm not sure if the voltage is working at all because I'm looking at the display and it's just stuck at 80.3 volts. I don't know if you guys can see that. I didn't really take this off yet, but believe me, it's 80.3 volts and it has not changed. So that's very odd. Something's going on with that. So when I was hitting the voltage sag earlier, oh no, it's going up, okay. 80.6 volts. Dang, all right. 80.7 volts. Oh, what the heck? Ran over a bunch of nasty crap. All right, so instead of trying to beat this car in the thing, I'm just gonna get in the bike lane and then just speed past that way. Oh my God! This thing is a blast! Now it definitely has more torque than the Super 73, and that's honestly because we do have a better battery in here, but we also have lighter tires as well. Alright, so I'm expecting a huge top speed on this trail right here because the wind is coming this way. So we shouldn't be going against the wind because we were coming this way earlier and we were hitting like, what was that? Was it 51 or something? Alright, so I want to hit it. I'm a little worried because there's sometimes squirrels on this trail, but I'm waiting to make sure there's nobody walking. If no one's walking, we're hitting it. Are we good? We're good. See, there's a squirrel that just ran past. Alright, go bike, go! I got my brakes on just in case. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, what, 55? Oh my God! Oh! Yes! Yes! That is absolutely like insane. I'm gonna pedal because I probably look stupid like coming this way in the bike lane. Wow! This is awesome! This is faster than the 73. This is badass. Now we don't have a big capacity like the Super 73, so the 73 is still gonna get the most range out of both bikes, and it's not pushing this much power. I like the fact that the voltage sag on this thing is so very minimalistic. It's so good for voltage sag. I love it. The custom e-bike battery we have on the Super 73 is garbage. I don't like it. If I were to move over to a powerful lithium battery, which I might do, we'll see. But real quick, we did start at 84 volts. It was 84.2 to be exact. And right now we're over 80 volts. Oh, I should have went through that side. Oh man. Oh well, I'll go to the front. Here, there's that guy over there that we passed. He's on an electric XP. I don't even know if he knew what we were on. I don't know if he knew we were on a bicycle or what. A lot of people haven't seen these around. They're still new, but there is like 4 or 5 of them around town. They're very popular. All right, guys, we'll see you at nighttime, and I'll give you some updates on the whole lighting setup and how it works with not having a motor connected. Because I got to find that out myself. I don't know how long it's going to take. I think it's 5 minutes, but it could be 10 minutes. And we'll see if we can play with the buttons to see if that will fix it as well. But yeah, let's read that really quick. 55 miles an hour. Nice. All right, so since the bike has been off, it's been resting for probably a minute as I walk through the store talking to people. 80.5 volts. It looks like it's still going up ever so slightly, but that's actually pretty impressive. It's almost 7 miles to work. This said 6.2. It's roughly like 6.7. But let's just say 6.5, you know, just to kind of round in the middle. 6.5 miles, we're down to about 80.5 volts. That's not too bad. Like went down 4 volts and we're going fast. I was doing 55 miles an hour at one point. I'm in traffic. I'm not being an e-bike or anything by all means. So that's pretty damn good. Yeah. All right, man. I'll see you. See you later, bro. All right, guys. Nighttime, baby. Nighttime. Now, there's a lot of stuff I wanted to show you guys on this bike as we do this night trip is the fact that I'm pretty sure all the lighting system is going to turn off on us after like 5, maybe 10 minutes. We'll try to time it. I know it roughly takes me like 15 minutes to get home. So if it turns off closer to the way home, that's probably gonna be 10 minutes. You know, I'll just kind of eyeball it, and I know time in my head. I don't know exactly, but I mean, I know what 5 minutes compared to 10 minutes is. So what you're gonna have to do on this setup is if you do it the exact same way I did, where you're running everything off the 52 volt battery, you're gonna have to, you know, turn the bike on like normal using the new button to turn it on. Now the other button is on this side. You can flip this to the other side if you want. So cool, now we have the daytime running light, and if I hit this, our headlight comes on, and now I can see. I might have to adjust it a little bit because after we've been modifying this bike and whatnot, I think it's kind of all over the place, to be honest, but so that looks pretty good. We still have our rear brake light. It still lights up, even though I did break it, so it's zip tied in the back. So I guess I can tell you guys right now what time it is. I'll put my phone up here as well so you guys know the speed, because I know it's a little easier to see my phone. And so you guys can get an idea of exactly what time it is. Look, it's 12:02, and we turned this on like a minute ago. So if it turns off after like 12:10, then that means it takes longer than 5 minutes. Another thing we can do, if you guys can't see this display, you do have some settings you can go into, so you can do the brightness. I always kind of forget how to do this, but so you can turn this down to 1, so you guys should be able to see the screen now very well. So, okay, you guys should be able to see this display and see this display. You guys should be able to see this one too as well. This one's a little bit brighter than all the other ones, but the way the GoPro records, if it's dimmer, it looks better. And we're always gonna have that 08 error code showing up, so don't be alarmed about that. That's literally just letting us know that there is no motor connected. I'm gonna admit, guys, I'm a little worried coming this way. There's supposed to be some cops out here. I kind of want to just kind of cruise through, see what's going on. The fact that we just don't have a chain connected at all, like if any cop wants to look at our bike, they're gonna see that we're a phony. We are on a motorcycle basically because we have no chain connected. I feel like for legal reasons, you can't get by with just having a pedal kit on here. You have to have a chain connected. You have to be able to pedal this bike to make it a real like e-bike. Yeah, brakes still, they ain't the best. That's the biggest thing I'm gonna complain about on this bike. Ah, man. And I really just want some low handlebars. I was saying it earlier, and I think that's the one thing that's missing is some low handlebars on here. A lot of people are saying like, oh, I didn't like, oh, there's a cop right there. A lot of people are saying that we didn't like the setup of how the handlebar situation was with like dual displays and everything. And honestly, this looks clean. You get a secondary like extension bar and you put the other display right there. Now I will say it would look a lot cleaner if I was to move up this bottom display to the top. This bottom display is kind of, I don't know, not really showing very well. I'm gonna get in the bike lane real quick because I can't tell if that cop made a U-turn or not. And I would rather, you know, just not get pulled over. We're just taking it nice and easy. We started at 80.9 volts when I got on the bike at nighttime. And right now under load right now, we're at 77 volts, almost 78, not too bad. Now there's some other things bad on this bike, and I really want to sit down in front of the camera with you guys on one of these videos. But to give you guys some ideas of what's bad on this bike is these tires worry me a little bit. They can get an instant flat like real quick. They're not very heavy duty. They're better than most. Oh, I don't see any cops. They said they're around here. Oh, they're over here. I would definitely put some motorcycle tires on here now that you have the speed and the battery. You're definitely gonna get some decent range out of it. I'm gonna pedal backwards so they know. And another thing that's kind of bad about it, obviously the handlebars I said. The brakes are not made for this type of power. I was used to them on the Super 73, and the Super 73 just felt so much better, but maybe these will break in just a little tiny bit more. I'm not sure. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. And the kickstand is pretty bad on this bike as well. Now that we have so much weight in the center storage cage, and just in general, you know, we got 2 batteries, we got 2 controllers, we got a big fat motor on the back that weighs a lot more than stock. The bike will want to tip over if you have it like on an incline or anything like that, so just keep that in mind. So if you have it in your driveway and it has like an incline, definitely be careful. I would set it on something completely flat. I've had to do that multiple times already because it just wants to tip over. Maybe someone could, you know, mount the kickstand maybe in the middle of the bike, you know, get around it, maybe weld some tabs on there, but you're pretty much limited to what you have. I did have to stiffen up the suspension in the back just because we got a lot more weight on here. It feels like it worked out okay. I think I might go back to a lower setting. I think I'm kind of in the middle right now. Or replace the shock in general, like the air shock, and do something else. It's not the most comfortable. Super 73 is definitely more comfortable. I do like looking at both these displays. So far it is 12:09. I'm curious to see if that display is going to turn off, like our headlights and all that kind of stuff, because I'm waiting for it. It has to be anytime soon. So I don't know. We're we're doing pretty good. Maybe it's 10 minutes. Another thing I wanted to test out as we, you know, do more videos with this bike is when I ride it at night, maybe if we hit like the up and down arrow on the bike and, you know, just make sure we cycle through the assist or something like that, maybe that will like change something. Not 100% sure, but we'll try that one of these days if it does turn off in 10 minutes. I just wish there was like an auto timer that you can change, but it doesn't look like there is. Oh, and going back to some things that are issues with this setup. Obviously, the upside down throttle, we talked about it earlier. You can just cut the throttle off completely and then have all your switches still on the right-hand side. You can clean that up super nice. Just keep in mind, if you want to go back, you're basically modifying your bike and you're not going to be able to just switch it over on the fly. You're going to have to contact the company and be like, I need a new like thing. And I don't know how expensive they are, maybe 50, 60 bucks for a new like button layout and a throttle. I don't know, not 100% sure. Another thing I was thinking about doing to this bike, which would be pretty cool, if you're not gonna ride this bike at all at night, you can get a secondary battery, put it on the top, get 2 connections, like a splitter, like a Y splitter, and you can have a lot more amp hours, probably closer to, I would say like 50, if not more. I would say, yeah, like 55, because you could probably fit like a 20, maybe 15 to 20 amp hour battery at top, like a Shark Tank battery. Another thing you guys can do is, you could install the controller up here if you wanted to, and you can put a bigger battery in the cage. Now you can contact the company and tell them the dimensions that you need and everything, and you'll be good. Some other things to note as well is if you're not gonna go 72 volt like I did, but you want more range, if you want like 4 times as much range, Powerful Lithium right now, oh, hold on real quick. Okay, it's 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes exactly. Okay, so I have to turn this back on. All right, so now we know it's exactly 10 minutes. All right, it's not too bad. All right, back to what I was saying. So Powerful Lithium has 2 batteries for this bike. One's a 72 volt that I'm doing with a brand new controller, brand new motor, 34 amp hour. They have another one, 55 amp hour, 52 volts. So if you don't want to change out your controller, you don't have to. If you don't want to change out your motor, you don't have to. It's not going to increase your speed. It's definitely going to allow you to hold your like 36, 37 mile an hour top speed for much longer. Because think about this, you have your 20 amp hour up here. You're going to put like a 55 down there. It's going to come with a splitter to hook both of them together. You know how much range that is? 75 amp hours of range. That is 4 times almost the amount that this bike comes with stock. And you're going to get better cells in the secondary battery pack. That is absolutely insane. So you guys have 2 options to do whatever you want. Keep in mind though, both these batteries are gonna be the same price, 1,900 bucks. You use my discount code, MrCentralDriver, that will knock it down 100 bucks. It also helps out the channel, all these videos I've been doing, spending all this money, you know, modifying these bikes, and you know, just kind of having a good time with all this stuff and making sure you guys are safe out there and what works and what doesn't. So I really appreciate it if you guys do. Again, the first 5 people, that it might be done already. I don't know. You could try, maybe contact them, go to the website, because everything is in the description. They have it on their website already listed. So if you don't like talking to someone on the phone, just go over there and check it out. But if you do want to talk to them and see if you're still eligible for the free charger, give them a call. Tell them I sent you. I still get commission that way. And let them know that my videos helped you out and they're awesome people. And yeah, like we'd be good on everything. Now, some other things you guys probably already know about that I wanted to talk about is obviously the fact that now that we moved this throttle over here, I know I kind of talked about it like 3 times already, but didn't really talk about the turn signal. So since they're flipped upside down, obviously your left is going to be the right and the right is going to be the left. Your horn's going to be on the top. Your headlight switch is going to be on the bottom. So that's your high beam. If you guys can see that, going, changing. I think my headlight's still a little too high. I'll move it down a little bit. But you really don't have to keep your turn signals or anything like that, but you would probably still want to have this to have your headlights go like on and off for like high beam and low beam. I think if you don't have this connected, you're not going to have a high beam, but you still have the low beam. Honestly, the low beam looks the best anyway to me. And really quick, I want to let you guys know that since I have rode this bike, I have 16 miles on it if this reads correctly. I'm not sure if it does or not. We're at 77 volts. My house is literally just 1 more mile away down that way. So that means I've done, I'd say like I did 6.5 miles going to work, 6.5 going this way. So let's say that I've done about like 12.5 miles, almost 13 miles right now. And we're at 77.2 volts. And you see how I'm riding. I was in the bike lane a little bit because I knew there was cops coming up in that intersection because my coworker told me. But I'm riding in the street with traffic doing 45 miles an hour. So that's pretty good, guys. That's really good if you really think about it. So some things to look forward to on this channel with this bike is just kind of cleaning it up. I noticed like some of these wires right here, like what I want to do is I want to like zip tie them so you don't see them. I'm gonna come over here and charge real quick and get my EV charging going on. I want to zip tie this so you don't really see this cable hanging, so we'll get this like buttoned up. I think the front looks great, and then we're just gonna cut our throttle off here. I'm gonna move this button display over to here. I might put this, if you guys can see behind my phone, the little buttons right back here, the plus minus for like pedal assist for the stock display, that turns your headlight on. I'm thinking about moving that over here and then putting this one on this side. I don't know, I still haven't like figured out what I want to do, but the thing is I'm gonna have to switch out my grips if I do cut this, because this is a half grip on this side and there's a full grip on this side, so we're gonna need 2 full grips. So I'll have to order those. Amazon, they're like 15 bucks or 11 bucks. Grips are honestly probably the cheapest thing you could buy for a bike. But I'm loving it so far. I'm absolutely loving it. And I've said it probably many times as well too. I get sidetracked on some of these videos, but the Super 73, I'm gonna have to say that it is a better bike. For stabilization, this feels a little wonky, but I feel like once you change out the handlebars, I think you'll be okay. Is someone like impacting stuff? Making a bunch of noise. Once you change out the handlebars, I think you'll be good. But it just doesn't feel as comfortable as a Super 73. But then again, I do have a different seat on the Super 73. Hopefully companies will start coming out with stuff with this bike, and we can have a cool looking seat on here that feels a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more padding. I think that would go a long ways. I love the fender setup on here. If you want to save some weight, you could be like my buddy Johnny and you can cut them. Some things that you probably can't see, I should have done this when it was brighter, but this torque plate right here, the torque arm that comes up, it comes in contact with this bar right here that holds the rear fender on. It's kind of a pain in the ass. It scrapes against it. It's actually digging into it. So if you really wanted to, you could cut this like right here and just have like a little half fender. You will have to cut it way up here, because if you do cut it back here, it's gonna like bounce back and forth on your tire, and you don't want that going super fast. You might want to think about down in here in this section. You guys can see this cable that comes out of the box. I actually am going to put more tape on here because it actually moved already on me when I turned my handlebars. But you're gonna want to put something on here because you don't want this grinding up against the hole that we drilled for this cable to go in and out, because if you start cutting this cable down little by little, you're gonna have to contact the company. You're gonna have to get that specific cable for your bike, and it's probably gonna be down because that's the master cable you need for everything. Anyways, let's get out of here. It's like 12:30 at night and people are working on their car with the impact. Let's do some more speed runs real quick. I don't want to get water splashed everywhere. All right, let's see how fast we can go. We got this whole street. I got my hands on the brakes just in case something happens. Oh, come on. There's a cat really going across the street? Bro. Do you not see me? Man, we had this whole street, man. That cat wanted to pull out in front of us. Come on, man. You're killing me here. All I gotta say, guys, if you guys do this setup, think about the money you're gonna spend really, really quick. I haven't calculated it out yet, but the bike is $2,400. The battery is $1,800 with my discount code. My coupon code does not work for this bike anymore, so you're gonna be paying full price, $2,400. And then you're gonna need this motor kit. The motor kit's $1,000. If you wanna put a throttle on here, get some grips, whatever you wanna do, that's maybe like an extra like 30 bucks or whatever. But just keep in mind, that's how expensive it's gonna cost. The battery is gonna be the most expensive thing on this whole entire build. So just keep it in mind. Is it gonna be worth it for you? If it's not, seriously, think about going to Powerful Lithium and spending $1,900 or $1,800 with my coupon code and getting the 55 amp hour battery. You'll literally be able to do like 150 miles, at least like 100 miles going like top speed, I would think. But I don't know. All right, so 50, we don't have that much straightaway. Dang it, all right. We have lost some voltage and it's not as hot right now. Batteries operate a little bit better in better temperatures, like hotter temperatures. Still hitting 50 though, still not too bad. let's see, 75.1 volts under load. And then when I let off, it stays at exactly the same. That's insane. Where's my voltage sag? I don't see any voltage sag going on. That's crazy. I've never seen a battery not have like any crazy voltage sag. You might have seen it earlier in the video, but 76.2 volts right now after doing those 2 pulls. I mean, it's still gonna keep going up if I let it sit, but that's pretty much it, guys. It's a long video, I know. I like that you guys are sticking around. Hopefully you guys love the thumbnail as well. I'm trying to be very funny on it and have a good time with this final video. It was all over the place, but you know, I'm busy, guys. I apologize. I got like 4 or 5 bikes coming this week, and I'm working 40 hours and trying to get this stuff shot and recorded and edited for you guys. So you guys are the true MVPs. I love all you guys. Let me know if you guys are seriously gonna do this mod, or maybe just buy a battery from them. Perfect timing, I guess, to go to having 75 amp hours in total, which is stupid. It's stupid. That's like the biggest range I've ever like seen on a bike. But all right, guys, enough rambling on. I will see you in the next one.